You know what we've been not talking about for quite some time? Downtown sports, by the way. Beast of the East, John Perriente. Mouth of the South, John Schiavone. This is Downtown Sports. This is where sports come home. We've been talking about the NBA, which we'll get to some more in a little bit because, the trades now officially are official. The
Yeah,
FIFA
they are now
World,
officially official. Official
the,
dishal.
yeah, we've been
As
talking the FIFA World Cup over the last couple of weeks. We're going to have Mr. Matt O'Boyle on tomorrow to dive into the final eight and recap the 16 that took place this week of the FIFA World Cup knockout
and we're
stage.
also gonna have Mr. Rob Simmons from the Professional Fanatics on with us, along with Mr. Matt O'Boyle, because we actually have been trying to get those two together at the same time on this show because you know what? Matt O'Boyle, right? We're gonna tell a little story real quick. Matt O'Boyle was the godfather of drinking while talking sports on the internet. And Rob Simmons, along with the Professional Fanatics, by the way, you want to check them out, professionalfanatics.com. Um, so you want to check them out. Rob Simmons is taking up that tradition, and he took it up without even realizing it, drinking and talking sports on the internet, specifically fantasy sports. So those two need to meet and meet quickly.
And tomorrow, that shall happen. Tomorrow, we're going
And
to get
I think
O'Boyle
it's
and
going to
him
be
together. It's going to happen.
I think it's going to be like the universe colliding. Like it'll be like when the mega powers met and Hulk Hogan and Macho Man shook hands for the first time
It'll
in
be
the
the natural
80s.
disasters like typhoon and earthquake. That's
Yes.
what we're going to have. Oh, for
It'll
certain.
be it'll be Nash and Hall.
Even better.
Oh man.
Well, so yeah, we've been talking soccer, FIFA World Cup. We've been talking NBA, but we haven't
Oh,
talked.
he's going to be talking about the Brandon Ayuk story.
Yes,
He's been
we've.
covering that. We wanted to cover that, but we haven't been researching that. We're not well versed in that. Rob covers fantasy football specifically, so he's been covering the Brandon Ayuk story like
He's been
crazy.
saying a lot of weird things on social media lately.
Oh
He's been.
God,
Sometime I'm starting to wonder where is his mind right now? Did he
I
have too
don't
many?
know.
Did he eat too much edibles? Did he?
I have no idea. No, and did he go? Did he go where the shrooms are legal?
I hope
I
this
think
is not.
shrooms are legal. Are shrooms legal in California? Please find
I don't
out.
think I want to find out, and I don't think this is. I hope this is not a AB 2.0. Like I hope not,
I don't know what this is, but
because
Rob
CTE
is
is
going to
what
tell
Marshawn
us.
Nealand had, as they revealed in his autopsy. Marshawn Nealand had CTE.
Oh God,
Yes, it was revealed today
Jesus
that Nealand
Christ.
had CTE.
So this is not good. Maybe Brandon Ayuk needs to not play another down of football and get himself to a neurologist. Stat. We need to find out how not good this is. So Rob Simmons from the host and leader of the Professional Fanatics is gonna come and talk with
Yes.
all three of the downtown sports guys, me, Johnny, and Matt O'Boyle,
Yeah.
and explain to us the insanity that is Brandon Ayuk and
Yeah.
the end of his career.
Well, what I'd like to talk today about as far as insanity, we haven't talked baseball throughout for the last pretty much for the first half of the year. We've really not talked much baseball. We're at the All
No,
Star break. We're going to have a top 10 by the end of the week to as we get into the
no,
All Star break.
no, that doesn't. No, baseball hasn't happened yet, John. No, no, that hasn't happened yet.
Uh, well, I've been watching for the last week and change the product I'm seeing the Yankees putting out on the field and the type of play I've been seeing from them, and it's
What
gone.
year have you been watching? Because baseball hasn't happened yet this season,
Oh,
John. What are you talking about?
it's maybe next year. It will probably definitely not happen. The strikes looming,
Yeah,
but it's not here yet. It's
the
not here
strikes
yet.
happened already. The strikes happened already, John. There's no baseball yet.
I think you need to fast forward. We're not in 20. You need to go backwards a bit. We're I think you jumped in a portal and Back to the Future and jumped 20 years into the future. We're not in 94. 94 is already gone. 94 was what it was. We're in 2026. Going into 2027. But yeah, a strike could be on the
I
horizon. A
I mean
work stoppage, a
I still
lockout.
have what you think I've had too much of that De'Aaron Fox?
I think so.
Might,
You're still
might have had
smoking
too much
that.
of that
You're still smoking that De'Aaron
that
Fox in
yeah, the
your hand. All
De'Aaron
right.
Fox and that yeah, this is the De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah,
This is the one that keeps missing the basket.
it's insane of what I've been watching the Yankees putting out on the field lately. I know they've had injuries
Oh yeah.
and
Wait a
this
minute.
time
Yeah, I
Judge and
really
Stanton.
haven't. Okay, I'm gonna be serious now. I really haven't been paying attention to
No.
any baseball. Let me go on my little phone here and
Yeah.
take a look and
Yeah. Yeah. You'll see a lot has changed in a span of what, a week and change. And yeah, I know what you're looking at,
I
right? The
haven't
Met.
been watching this entire NBA playoff. What the
Mm.
hell?
I guess you've been living under a rock for the last couple of, yeah, because obviously the NBA playoffs was a nice distraction along with the World Cup away from baseball for the last little
I'm
while.
an No, you don't understand. Of all the fandoms, like everybody thought, like, oh no, I'm the biggest fan of the Giants or the Mets. Like, you never thought of what team it was. Oh, it was always the Knicks.
Yes.
It was always the Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
Now that they've won a title, I could pretty much analyze everything because it don't matter to me. The Knicks won.
Okay.
But the Mets, what? What are they? What is the?
Yeah, the Mets had the Mets had like a terrible stretch of like 10 straight losses. They had a terrible month of
Wait,
a couple months
did
in.
Juan so what did Juan so every relationship starts what the
Oh, you haven't been paying attention. Yeah,
oh god,
Carlos
my
Mendoza got
orange and blue
fired, by the
blood.
way.
Yeah, I heard about that. I
He
was
got
like,
fired,
okay,
yeah.
good. I thought this meant that things would get better. Andy Green's the manager.
Yeah,
I
well,
Matt O'Boyle told me things that warmed my heart. Hopefully, Matty will
yeah.
get Mr. Andy Green
Oh, I'm
on.
sure he'll, well, it's going to happen. I've
I'm gonna
confidence
have
it will.
I'm gonna have some questions for him, because this poor man seems to have been put into an what is called a no-win
It
situation.
is not, yeah,
What
it's definitely not a
the
no-win. It's a no-win
hell
situation.
is this?
Yeah, it's the product the Mets are throwing out on the field every week. And Steve Cohen has hinted, I'm not firing Stearns. I'm not firing him. He's gonna play out his contract. David Stearns is not going anywhere, folks. Even with all the
What?
crap the Mets are putting out there every day.
What?
The last two games, the Mets were very lucky. They even won against Atlanta. They choked away. They almost choked a 10-3 lead away 2 days ago. Barely won that game 10-9. Then blew a lead
Andy
against Atlanta
Green.
late and held on to win last night.
Well, at least Andy Green is getting them to swing the fucking bat. Like,
Yeah. But yet the pitching is once again the problem again. The Mets vaunted pen, right? So unhittable,
well, because you took away you had the pitching lab, and then you took the scientist out,
Yeah, the
and then you let
pitching
the
lab.
assistants
Yeah.
play with the chemicals. The pitching lab. Yet you fired the freaking. It's like, okay, imagine if you were playing Sonic, the video game, right? And
Mm-hmm.
there was no Dr. Robotnik to beat at the end of every board. How easy would the game be?
Yeah. Crazy.
You fired Dr. Robot. You fired Robotnik.
Mm.
You fired Eggman. There's no Eggman. So there's no robots. There's no robots, there's no obstacles. All you have to do is just run and jump and avoid the holes.
Yep.
You're playing Mario and there's no Bowser.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
Ah.
you've done. The pitching lab is closed.
Yes,
And
sir.
now all you have is a bunch of experimental pitchers.
Yeah, like
You
moving
know what you
Coda.
did?
You moved Senga to the bullpen because he just can't cut it as a starter anymore.
Because you took away his pitching coach, who was teaching him how to pitch in America.
Hmm.
And
Honestly,
you were
I think some
putting
of these
him
problems were even
on
before the
a
pitching
five
lab got
day
here.
you were putting him on a 4 day rest schedule, on a 4 days rest schedule, when he was used to a 5 days rest schedule
Yeah. You know, in
in
Japan, when you
Japan,
pitch, in
in a
Japan, you
part of
pitch
us.
once a week. That's how it works when you're a starting pitcher in Japan. You pitch once a week. You don't pitch every five
You
days. You pitch once a week.
you pitch once
Regular.
a week and you pitch all 7 innings of your start. That's how
And
it works.
and you have a slightly bigger baseball with a little better breaking action than you would with the ones that are used in America. Use a different baseball in Japan. It's a little different.
Look, it just don't work. And by the way, the Mets just lost to the Kansas City Royals 16 to fucking 12 in a game that they were leading 9-4. I just
Yep.
had the sleeper app tell me this because I
Yes.
opened up the sleeper app so this way it would
Yeah.
keep me informed of what the hell is going on.
Yeah.
This is effing nuts. And now the Yankees are just, what do they lose? Like what, 8 out of their last 10?
Yeah, let's go back to that because I want to go back to okay, so the Yankees took two at it. I'm going back to before the Yankees went on the road to Boston, before they went on that little trip. The Yanks had won 2 out of 3 in Detroit. I was feeling confident about things. Okay, Yanks are hovering here. Judge and Stanton not in the lineup. The Yankees could tread water for a bit and they'll be okay. They were up 3 games on the Rays. And then suddenly
Back and
everything
tell you tale, a
completely went
tale of a
wrong.
fateful trip.
Yankees got swept by Boston. They got swept by Detroit when they came to the Yankee Stadium. And then if it couldn't get worse, you lost 2 out of 3 to the Twins, a team that you've owned for years. And the worst thing about even all of that, the Yankee offense was barely getting 3 hits a game, barely averaging 3 runs a game. And over the last 2 games, the Yanks have struck out 34 times in 2 games, 17-17, to just add those numbers completely. I know, John, you're trying to sing that little song like you're trying to sing when SpongeBob admitted he with the clam and the peanut. I know, you're about the
No,
giant
no, no,
oyster.
no, no.
Yeah,
Let's
Patrick was
sit
singing
right
his little
back and I'll
hum.
tell you a tale of a fateful trip.
Yeah. And right
Come
now,
on,
the
you know
Yankees
that
are in
song, right? It's the theme song of
sorta. The Yankees are in
okay.
utter shambles. The Yankees are in utter shambles. They're 4 back of the Rays with that terrible skid. When the Yankees lost 7 in a row, the Rays won 10 in
A
a row.
3 hour tour, a
And just
3 hour
everything that could go
tour.
wrong with this team when it comes to errors, giving up unearned runs. Oh yeah, Boone was trying to talk about stuff. It's like a sickness. We don't hit, but we need to. He's had some. Boone said some very weird philosophical junk about during the
Oh
Yankees
God!
losing streak.
Oh no! Wait, is this why they didn't let him talk? Please, let's hear this.
All right, well, I'm going to go back and try to find
What does
exactly what he
Boone know
said.
he's about to be fired, so now he's just letting it all go? Oh,
I
this
don't
is
know about
great.
I don't know exactly. I'm gonna.
The real Aaron Boone. Is the real Aaron Boone finally standing up, and we're finding out he's nuts?
Hmm. He's trying to. Yeah, here we go. So he made waves with comments on losing. He said how a losing. This is during the Yankees' 7-game skid. He was asked how he keeps a losing streak from snowballing. What did Aaron Boone say to that? That's what we do, baby. You gotta love this stuff. You gotta eat this stuff up. It's a sickness. That's what the grind is.
Snowballing. How do you? So I think when they said snowballing, something triggered in his head. Yeah, yeah, snowballing. You gotta love this stuff, baby. It's kind of like the Jim Harbaugh, the Adam Gaze, and the freaking what's his name that used to coach Miami, Mike McDaniel's.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Oh,
well.
conspicuously, that trio of freaking cokeheads is now coaching the LA Chargers.
Yeah, with Justin Herbert. How fun is that? Ah.
with Justin Herbert and Omarion Hampton and Kamani Vidal and Keaton Mitchell and Lad McConkey and Quentin Johnston.
Mm. If only the Chargers could put all those pieces together and not, they'd realize how solid a team they have. But again, it's when you get to games in the cold or you get to the important
Here's
games in
what it
the
is.
playoffs.
You know what's going to motivate them? Here's
Humor me.
Adam. I think I figured out what Adam Gaze's job is, right?
Yes.
Before every play, Adam Gaze is just going to go on the sideline, right? And on the big screens, all you're just going to see is Adam Gaze doing this. Except my eyes aren't that big. So hold on. Let me just try to do this.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to see. Just a big old thing of his
He's just a
eyes.
passing game coordinator. He's just going to be the passing game coordinator.
Yeah, so Justin Herbert's just going to have to look at him staring at him all day.
Maybe that's how Herbert will scan the field to actually throw the football better and see the open man by widening his eyes. And
Adam,
yeah.
could you imagine what Adam Gase saying to Justin Herbert? Look, you have to look at the field with my unblinking eyes.
Hey. Well, I
Jesus
think
Christ.
well, I think the Yankees need to have better eyes at the plate and stop striking out 17 damn times like they have the last two games. It's bad enough that they've been striking out. It's bad enough they've barely been hitting. It's bad enough Paul Goldschmidt is in an 0 for 30 slump. He had four more Ks today. It's
Oh,
bad enough
wow.
that Cody Bellinger's in a 4 for 30 slump. Hell, he dropped the ball in the outfield the other day.
Well,
Just as if
leave
you need to add
Bellinger
anything else
alone.
to worse.
But do you know what? They're going to make the playoffs, John. I say this every year, and it's true. You
Yeah, maybe
don't
they make the
play.
playoffs. Whoopee, you make it in as a
You
wild card.
But do you know what? You do damage.
Not with this team, we ain't. We don't have Judge, Stanton, and him are not even close to coming back. Stanton hasn't even been running yet. That's already a big red flag. Judge is dealing with the rib injury. I don't think he's back till August. And who knows where the Yankees will even be by the break. You know how much tougher it's about to get for the Yankees once the All-Star break passes? You have any idea how tougher
Tell
it's going to
me.
get for them? Okay.
Tell me, because my team is completely out of it.
Okay.
Let's see. Just do me a favor before you go there.
Yeah.
Tell me
Mm-hmm.
about the impossible mission the Mets have to either A, win the division, or B, get into the wild card.
Getting to the wild card is, I think, their only logical choice, and I don't even see that.
There's no logical choice either way. So let's just hear the impossibility of what the Mets have to do.
Yeah.
They have played how many games, John?
Let's take a look at that. The Mets now with the loss today, and mind you, you put up you score 12 runs and it's
Fucking
not
12.
enough. Yeah,
How
you
do you,
scored.
yeah, 16. Well,
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
basically, you played a team with the same record as you right now. The Mets are, yeah, both their records are identical, 38 and 54. So
Wow.
The Mets have played 92 games with 70 to play, and they're 38 and 54. Mets are dead last in the East and
Yep.
dead last by about 9 games behind the Nationals. Everybody in the East basically has a winning record except the Mets. How's that for a picnic? How's that for a shocker? The Phillies were doing terrible for a period. They ended up firing Rob Thompson. Don Mattingly takes over, who was actually not even the guy they wanted to manage them. They wanted Alex Cora, and they still are probably going to go after Cora even after this season's over. But Mattingly's
You
turned them
know what?
around. Mattingly has them playing well. They're only two back of Atlanta. The
If they,
Marlins are three back. They were playing 500 most of the year. Now they're eight over.
you know what? The first half of the year for the Mets was the hardest part of their schedule, correct?
Yeah, and also
By a mile.
having that 10-game skid is the reason why they're here. That 10-game skid completely buried them the first half.
Now, I have a question.
Please.
What is their last 70 games look like? Because with this roster, there's no effing reason they should end up with 54, 64. They shouldn't lose more than 15 to 20 more of these games.
Well, let's take a look at the Mets' remaining games. First, before the break, yeah, the Royals series, you have to finish this series off, and then the Red Sox, you finish out the first half of the season before we hit the break. Okay, now
You
we go
should
to
be
the
able to smack them around. They're simple.
okay,
The weak teams in the AL are much weaker than the weak teams, quote
okay.
unquote, in the NL. Look at the
Now,
Mets roster.
yeah. Do you want to hear the
They should be
gaunt?
able to smack up the. Yeah, okay, go ahead
You
with
want to
the
hear the
gauntlet.
yeah? The second half is the first four series. Good luck winning them. Three against the Phillies in Philly. Three against Milwaukee in Milwaukee. And then three more against the Dodgers at home. Three against the Braves at home. Four against the Marlins at home.
You know what?
You think the Mets are winning that? I don't.
Here's the thing. The All-Star break for this team and Andy
Yes.
Green
Mm-hmm.
is gonna be the best thing that ever happened to it.
I've only seen one team in recent memory that was about 15 under 500, which is where the Mets basically are, and ended up making the playoffs. I only saw one team do it, and that was back in 2005. And they went to the World Series. That was the Astros. You remember that start where they went 15 and 30 in 45 games?
Yep.
They went 15 and 30 to start the year. Everybody had them dead. They rallied. They got to the World Series only to fall to the White Sox. I remember that, 2005. Remember it like it was yesterday. You still had Biggio. You still had Bagwell. You still
Look,
had Lidge. You still had all that young core. You still had the old core from the old days of the Stros. But they made it. They proved to people,
Andy
hey,
Green
mhm.
is a better manager than Fernando Mendoza. He just is. I
So why
don't know
haven't we
why they
seen
didn't.
it? So why haven't we seen it? Why haven't we? We've seen the run production a little better. Fine, Mets are playing with a
The
little more.
hitting's better.
Yeah, but now the pitching has been stinking up. Peralta has not been
Okay,
who Freddie Peralta has not been the ace guy that they thought they were getting. Can barely go 5 innings a start.
because two reasons. Well, Peralta, he's known for that.
Yeah, but he
He's known for 5 innings to start. That's what he does.
Yeah, but you need, but that's what, then you tire out the pen. And then you had, oh, yeah, Sanga's been, Sanga couldn't stay healthy. Now he's in the pen. He's not doing any better in the bullpen, at least
That's what
as of
I
now.
try, but that's what I tried to explain to everyone at the start of the season when all you people had the Mets going crazy. What did I say during the offseason, John? Can you remind the listeners what I said, John?
You mentioned Sanga that he's not used, he has to be pitching on every 5 days. He shouldn't be tinkered with the pitching lab, blah, blah. You mentioned all this, the pitching lab. And, he needs to be in a routine, a regular routine. It's not worked.
Did I also not mention that the Mets need to sign another arm?
Yeah. And they didn't
What did
really
they
do that.
do?
They didn't do that. They could have signed Quintana, didn't do it. You could have, you beefed up the pen, which was all right, but you're still relying on Mania. Is he reliable? No.
No, I told you. They signed the guy to a 3 year deal on a career year when he is a 5+ ERA guy who doesn't even eat innings. He's just
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah. And you've already let one of the dead pieces of your team go. You dealt David Peterson to the Cubbies because they desperately needed pitching, and Peterson's not been any better. So other than that, the pen's been exhausted. Yeah, Luke Weaver's done his job, what I expected him to do, at least.
You
Minter's
keep
been
him.
fine, but the rest of the pen is
Yup.
very shaky. I'm sorry, the rest of that pen's no good. Even when the lineup gives you 10 runs, be lucky if the Mets even give up eight of the or nine. Look, I mean, the Mets had a 10-3 lead and barely held on to beat Atlanta a few days ago. You barely held on to beat Atlanta in extras the other night. And you try to tinker with that again. And
You know what you do? You fix the starting rotation problem
Yeah.
at the deadline.
Well, I think the
Get
Mets are going to be
the
selling at the
fuck
deadline. Mets are going to be
no.
selling.
I wouldn't do that.
Well, I hate to tell you this, but
If
when
the
my team is
Mets
16
get
under,
a
I think they have no other choice. They need to get young talent
bullshit,
here.
bullshit. Get young talent. Get a young starter.
Well, you got one
Get
in
a young
McLean.
hot
You got Nolan
starter.
McLean,
Get
right? I
another
thought he was.
one.
You had
Get
Sproat and you
another
traded
one.
him. You had Sproat and you let him go.
You have Jonah Tong. Bring him up.
Yeah, we've seen him in little chunklets, but he walks too many batters. He doesn't have good control, and
Trade him and someone else and get a better young starter in here.
yeah, it would only
How
if only
about
that were
that?
so if only that were so simple.
It's
Only that were
it
so
is.
simple.
It is. It's called the freaking actually no, the Pirates are actually winning this year
Yeah.
now.
They're barely above. They're barely floating at around 500. And Scanes. I don't think they're going to keep. I don't know what they're going to do with Scanes. They might move him. Maybe the Mets get him. Who the heck knows? As if he'll
You know
change
what?
things.
But actually he would. He would change
Okay.
things a lot.
Okay.
He would change things a lot. You know why? Because then you would have a legitimate ace in the freaking rotation. McLean is not that. McLean is a great number two.
Well, as of right now, McLean's had to carry this team like a number one because they have really nobody else that's good behind him. Yeah, Christian
Exactly.
Scott, he's a little Christian Scott is barely a 5 inning guy. Peralta
Peralta is
has
barely a five.
been
You have
barely
two
five
number.
innings.
You have a number two, two number threes, and crap.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with this team, and that's why they're 16 games under.
Yeah.
They have a crap bullpen, no ace, and two number threes and a number two leading the rotation.
I'll
A
give him this.
number
Carson Benj has
one,
been good, and I like the kid Ewing. I like those kids in the lineup. They put a little energy in this lineup, which I like.
yeah, and the fact of the matter that we have to start kids when we're paying the second most in baseball for our team is bullshit.
Soto, yep. He's been hurt. He's
No,
missed. Oh,
eh,
Lindor. Lindor missed
it's
about 2 months with injury. He's finally back
no,
now.
it's not just that. But that's the thing. Lindor being back, that's key one. Soto, key two. Once Lindor comes back, Lindor being back is big for
Okay.
this team.
Okay.
To me, he never should have started the season. And I said that at the start of the season.
Yeah.
Remember? At the start of the
Yeah.
season, I said,
Well,
he's hurt.
yeah, because you had the world.
Don't
We had
start
World
him. He's
Baseball.
hurt.
Oh yeah,
He's hurt.
we had the WBC and all that good stuff that kicked off the year. I
He
know we
wasn't
had all
allowed to
that fun.
play, remember?
I know he couldn't play. I know he couldn't play, but the
He
problem when
wasn't
you try to
allowed to
rush
play.
the problem is when you rush somebody back from injury, you try to rush a guy back too fast when he's not ready.
And whose fault is that? That is Carlos Mendoza's fault.
And that's why he's fired and does not have a job now.
No, that's not. And it's
Yeah, he lost this
bullshit.
team. He lost this team. The team stopped playing for him.
He should have been fired when the second, the freaking second that shortstop went on the injured list. Fired.
Hmm.
Because he mishandled that injury and said, nope, he's fine. He's good to go.
Hmm. Instead, Stearns is
Fired.
still here. Instead, you keep Stearns. He's not going anywhere, according to Steve Cohen.
That whole thing was so mismanaged.
Yeah. Well,
So mismanaged.
yeah. Well, I'll tell you what's mismanaged.
Bullshit.
Yeah. Well, the Yankees have their own problems. All right. Stanton has been out of the lineup since what,
My point
May,
is, let me
June?
finish real
Yeah. Sorry.
quick.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Lindor comes back.
Okay.
That's like getting a major piece into your lineup. Think
Of
about it.
course. Of course. Of
He
course.
comes back. Soto's back already, right?
Yeah. He's been back. He missed
Exactly.
time, but he missed time also.
So there you go. Those two pieces were gone. You lost 10 games in a row because your two stars were not there.
Yeah. But then you
Now
look at
you
some other
have them
teams. Yeah.
both back.
But you look at
You
other
have
teams
them
that miss
both
players.
back.
Mhm.
Let me finish. You
Sure.
have them both back.
Yes.
Those two are not just, big bats in your lineup. They are both engine players.
Mhm.
Soto and Lindor both give energy to lineups. If those two both are gone, that's the heart, soul, core of everything in that offense out.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, when you lost players like Alonso and Nimmo, you also lost players that completely gave away energy to the lineup. That's why, like, you know what? I would love to see a player like Jose Iglesias come back to this team.
He stabilized
Like,
things when he was here, as did JT Martinez. As JT Martinez did also.
but specifically Jose Iglesias, because he is an energy starter
Yep.
for this team and this bench. He is like a culture, and he fit into New York specifically. He's doing nothing in San Diego. He's not helping them at all. He's not fitting in. He's not doing anything for anybody over
The
there.
Padres are in a
Bring
tailspin of
him
their
back.
own. They're in their own tailspin right now to begin with. They're under 500, San
You know
Diego.
what I? You know what I think? Maybe let's do business with San Diego. Maybe there's pieces they have that we need. There's pieces we have that they need.
Yeah, there are two, but the Yankees are trying to do the same thing with them also. Luis Arise is a possible piece that could be on the move, a contact hitter. And with the Yankees striking out so much, they need a bat in that lineup that can actually put a ball in play, which Arise does. Mason Miller. Remember that kid? Remember that kid that throws 105 miles an hour a closing
I'd
game?
love, please, I'd love him.
With the way the
Give me
Padres are
him.
going, they might unload him.
Give me
And
him.
The Yankees were trying to get him for quite some time. The Yankees
I'd
also
love
have their
him.
eyes to get back Luke Weaver. I'm sure Luke Weaver's on the Yankees' eye to come back to their team as well.
You know what? Give me a star. Give me a star. You want Weaver?
You can have We'll give you Camilo Duvall for absolutely nothing. He's been trash on the Yankees ever since we've had him. Ever since the trade deadline when we got him, Duvall's been
Hmm.
absolute crap.
Yeah, he was great for us.
Camilo Duvall, he was never a, well, Camilo Duvall was never a Met.
I know.
Yeah. Now, look,
Congratulations, you won the quiz.
you somewhat turned Devin Williams around to some degree, even though he has an ERA over 4. Whoop de
Well,
doo.
look, look, he's one of the only people that you could put in a game and somehow it doesn't explode.
Luke Weaver, I thought, was the more reliable of the two, at least from what I've seen. Has been the better option. But again, the
I
Mets are doing
agree.
exactly what the Yankees didn't do, and that was use Weaver in the ninth inning, have him close the game instead of Devin. When Weaver closed, the Yankees were in pretty good shape.
Yeah, what they're doing with Devin is they're putting him in the most high leverage situation and having him get them out of it.
Yeah. Well, you needed Devin to bail you out at least a couple nights, but I've already talked about those 2 games twice, and I'm not going to bring it up
Yes, they
again.
did. No, we're not doing that again.
No.
But the point
The
I'm
Yank,
trying to
yeah,
make is
yeah.
if the Mets can actually win some of these series just going forward, take 2 out of 3. Take 2 out of 3 because
Yeah.
against bigger teams, what they've been doing
Mm-hmm.
is they've been playing well. They've been winning series against Dodgers, winning series against Atlanta, winning series against
Uh,
some of these teams.
Well, the Atlanta series they split. The Atlanta series they just came off of, they split that. They could have easily lost that series 3 out of 4, honestly, or even gotten swept. And thankfully they
They could have,
didn't. But
but
thankfully they
you know what?
didn't.
But you see, Andy Green is a manager that instills hope in people. Like Matt O'Boyle even told us last week, he's a
Yeah.
good man.
Okay.
And when you have somebody who is just a good person that's in charge of your team, they're going to instill something that makes your players just want to keep going for you, you
Of
know?
course. Well, the Mets are going to have to figure that out with the remaining 70 games they have left. And as I said, the first batch of games coming out of the break are not going to be anywhere close to easy.
And then what about the rest?
The rest, let's
That's the
see.
thing.
The Guardians, Pirates, you're going to go with Pittsburgh to play them in August. You got to play Atlanta 3 more times on their turf. The Nationals,
Good.
the Padres, the White Sox. You got to play the Brew Crew again at Citi Field late August. Houston, you're going to see going into September, and then
Oh
you have
my
the
God.
Rays. Then you have San
That's,
Fran, Marlins again. The Yankees you
you
play
know what?
around nine
Uh,
eleven,
I hate that.
and then you play the Phillies again, Texas,
Okay. Ugh.
and then you finish with Washington.
You know
Yeah,
what?
I
These are
don't know.
all teams. that you have to beat, though, right?
I'd be
These
lucky
are
if the
all
Mets.
teams they need to
I
beat.
consider lucky if the Mets win half of these 70 games. Half of them. I can't see the Mets having a winning record with these 70 left. They're 15 under. They'll be lucky if they maybe break even. Maybe 500 is being very kind. But I can't see that. Not with this group, not with this unit that's coming out here. Yeah, you'll make maybe some pieces trade deadline. I see the Mets more of getting rid of some of the pieces they already have, try to get some young kids, try to build the farm system back up. That's really the
But
only
do you know
direction I
what?
see for them
Maybe
right
you
now.
un. But do you know what? Maybe you unclog. Maybe by unclogging the pipes, they
Yes.
get better and they have more continuity because you have Juan Soto and Francisco and Lindor and Bo Bichette on this team,
Yeah.
and they're going to remain on this team
Yeah, well,
no
they're locked in
matter
for
what
many
the
years. They're not going
yeah,
anywhere.
no matter what the hell you do, those three are on this team.
Yeah.
So if you're telling me that a team with those three players and Nolan McLean as a starter
Mm-hmm.
with a bullpen that consists of
Weaver,
still
Devin, yeah, Minter. You have some middle of the pen guys that are good, but then the other half of the pen is trash.
but
Brazaban
then
is too up and down. He's too.
but then you've unclogged the pipes to where, a Bo Bichette could play the position he
Yeah.
normally plays and a Polanco plays the position he normally
Those two in
plays.
particular are playing completely off their position. That's why the Mets are where they are right now. Bo's not used to playing third, and Polanco can't play first. That's not their positions
So
at
if
all.
we if we could somehow make it that those two can actually play their spots, or Bo Bichette's the DH,
Yeah, maybe the infield gets better. Maybe we see some drastic change, but
yeah, then we could actually I don't know, win.
yeah. I'd like to say the Yankees, I wish they did some of the same thing. The problem is Boone shuffles the lineup a million times. You move Ben Rice to third in the lineup, then you bat him lead off, you bat him second. You
Why
never
he's not your catcher, I will never understand.
because Ben Rice as a catcher, and I listen, I'm not saying he's not a good catcher, but he can't throw base runners out. He's not wild pitches and stuff to block the
I
plate.
don't care. Austin Wells is a freaking lump.
Oh, he's horrible. Austin Wells is trash. I know. We never should have sent the
If
scar
you
down. He never should have
freaking
gone
get
down.
rid of him and make Ben Rice your catcher, you can sign someone to play first base that is capable and can actually help your lineup. You should have had Pete Alonso.
Yeah.
Why is Pete Alonso an Oriole, John?
Yeah. Because the Yankees didn't want to cough up the money for
Because
him.
the Yankees are stupid. That's
Yeah.
why.
They could have gotten Freddie Freeman, didn't do it. Could have gotten Mason Miller, didn't do it.
This is dumb. The
Because we don't
reason
want
the
to trade our
Yankees
farm
are
pieces. We don't want to trade Lombard. We don't want to trade
screw
Spencer Jones.
trading, screw trading. Oh my God, you could have just signed Pete Alonso to the money he
Yeah,
was
because Brian
asking
Cashman won't
for.
spend money. He's too cheap. Hal is too cheap.
No, it's
It's,
not Hal is too
it's
cheap.
Cashman.
Hal would have spent the money
Yeah, Cashman doesn't spend it. Cashman doesn't
because
want to pull the
Cashman
trigger.
has a stupid philosophy.
Look, it's time. It's been long overdue. We need to move on from Cashman. He's been here
We
30
know
years, and
this.
we're
I think Cashman's ready to move on from Cashman. I think I'm going to be absolutely honest with you, John. I think Cashman's retiring, and I think Boone is done after this
Oh, I
season.
think so. If the Yankees look,
I think it's over.
the Yankees went from 16 under in about a week to to just barely 9 over 500. They've fallen 4 games behind Atlanta. Their lineup is barely hitting 200. They've
4 games behind Tampa, you mean?
Yeah, 4 games behind Tampa. That's what I've said. They're four
Yeah,
games behind the
you said
Rays.
Atlanta.
Oh, sorry,
You
Atlanta.
said
Excuse me.
Atlanta.
Okay, they're 4 games behind the Rays, and yeah, and right now they're in the middle of a 4 game series with Tampa as we speak right now. And if they don't win, and the next time they're going to see the Rays again is toward the end of the year, and who knows what will happen by that point. Judge is not making much progress from his rib injury. Stanton has
Yep.
not even been running yet, and there's been a
Yep.
lot of concern that maybe You just shut Stanton down. Maybe it's just time to for him to retire because his knees just can't hold up anymore when it comes to even
No.
jogging.
Do you know what this is? Can I just say something?
Please, please.
Remember at the end of Roger Clemens' career,
Yes.
he basically was just shut down until like the middle of the season, middle end of the season,
Yeah.
and then he just came out in October and just destroyed.
Yeah. So we're doing that same approach with Stanton. I know Boone's been hinting we're not rushing him. I get it. Obviously,
Can
Judge, you're not going
everybody
to rush
stop
it.
and just yeah, can we everybody just stop and realize that the Yankees have enough to make the
They
wild
need.
card
They still are going to need a little
without
help.
them?
They're still going to need a little help at the deadline, and having Arise in the in the lineup will be very beneficial.
I mean, I would
What
love to
Boone
see
needs
a
to stop doing
contact
is
hitter.
stop playing Volpe because Caballero is clearly the better shortstop over Volpe. I don't care what anybody says. Caballero fields his position better, and he hits a little better than Volpe. I'm fine with Cabby. He should
They
stay
need to,
there.
you know what they need to do, but they have to keep playing Volpe here and there because Volpe is a better clutch player than Caballero.
Last two games, they've been going with Caballero instead of Volpe. The first
I
game,
agree,
Caballero
but do
hit
you know
two home
what though?
runs. Yeah.
I know I agree, but here's the thing. I've seen Volpe doing it in October, and you gotta trust that.
Yeah, that's the bat. I'm not crazy concerned about his bat. I'm concerned about his
His
fielding. His
his
fielding
fielding
stinks.
is
His
not
fielding's
his
awful. Awful.
okay. Well, then move his ass to third.
You can't do that because Ryan McMahon plays third. That's where McMahon plays.
But he stinks.
His bat's not good, but his fielding's good. He's better. Trust me, when McMahon was out of the lineup along with Grisham, our defense was atrocious.
But
Atrocious.
why didn't they put Volpe at third?
No, because they were, the Yankees didn't think that. They
Volpe's
decided,
glove is Volpe's
no,
glove is fine. His range is shit.
yeah, well,
That's
we
the
didn't. Yeah,
problem.
we didn't put Volpe at third. We kept Volpe at short,
Because
like
he's got to
stupidly.
be the next Derek Jeter,
We
right?
we brought back Oswaldo Cabrera from the minors. Thought okay, he was going to help. Not too great. That didn't really help us.
No.
Yeah, we kept kind of interchanging pieces of the pen. By the way, Rodon's out now with elbow injury. That's not a good sign when you have that.
Oh, wonderful. There goes my the one fantasy
Yeah.
best ball team I drafted in.
Will Warren got lit up for 6 runs today, and over the last couple outings, he's been god awful. Garrett Cole is still not all the way back. He's still not all the way back yet.
You need
He,
him badly.
yeah, well, Garrett Cole was out for over a year with an ace with Tommy John. I mean, you can't. It takes about a year and a half to come back from Tommy John at 100%. And Garrett Cole only just came back like what about a month to about 2 months ago. So
Yep. But do you know what though?
he's not even fully back into a normal rhythm yet.
Do you know what though? He got like what 7 strikeouts in 4 innings, right?
Yeah, no, look. I'm not saying Cole won't figure it out, but we need the vintage Garrett Cole that gave us seven
Okay,
innings
but
a start.
you gotta get you gotta give him time.
I know that. But time is
So
not something we have
you
a lot
have to
of right now. We
you
don't have a lot of it.
do stop it.
We don't.
You as a Yankee fan don't understand.
I don't understand. I don't understand.
No, you don't.
Oh, I understand.
No. What league are you in?
I'm in the present and I'm looking at the team and I'm looking at how they're playing and I'm looking how this team does not. It just
What
doesn't feel like they're
league are
playing
you
with
in?
any desperation. They're not playing
What
with any
league are you in?
urgency.
What league are you in?
Yeah, we're in the American League. And okay, yeah, the American League East has not been
Right.
good this year. I get it.
Right. No,
Okay, I get
okay,
it.
that's great.
But how long will it
Okay,
stay that way?
forever because the AL East is terrible. Baltimore has underperformed dramatically.
As has
Toronto
Toronto.
is terrible.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Well, getting swept by
basically,
Boston didn't help. It gave them a little bit of new life, and they're kind of starting to get back to where they feel like they're capable of playing, slight bit.
I told you Boston stinks and they're going to be last in the division.
To have the
And
Yankees get swept 4 games on their turf, have the Yankees get swept in 4 games against them, a team they should have been owning, and they let
because
Boston sweep them.
because teams have ebbs and flows, okay, John? You're still winning over 90 games this year.
Well, it needs to start happening pretty soon, and we need to close out this first half, this remaining game before the break strong, or we're going
Yeah,
to.
you will, John. I want you to do something. Take a deep breath in. All right, just do this with me. Deep breath in, breathe out.
Yeah.
Do you
Okay.
understand that your team is like the New York Knicks and everything you're doing is practice?
Uh-huh.
Literally, everything you're
Uh-huh.
doing, it is impossible for you not to make the second wild card.
Well, if we
Look,
don't,
I want you to look at the situations for the Mets. Go
yeah,
look at the wild card and the division situation for the
very
Mets right now.
gladly,
I asked
very,
you to
very
look
gladly. Wild card.
before,
Yep, I'm going to
and
do it
you
right now.
never did. I want you to do it now because I need you to get a cold slap of reality.
The Mets are 12 out of the wild card. 12
And
out.
how many out of the division?
Well, I said the Mets were dead last in the NL East. They are 15 out, 15 games back.
They're 15 games under 500 and they're 15 games back of the division.
They're 1,615 games back of the Braves. Yeah.
So they're in the worst division in freaking baseball,
Yep.
pretty much.
Yes.
And they're dead last.
Yep.
However, all of the teams in that division were underperforming, quote unquote, because they're extremely talented.
Yeah.
The only difference is the Mets went on one big losing streak and they didn't get on the one big win streak to get them back yet.
Yeah.
Every other team in the division has, except Washington, never went on a lose or a win streak. They've just been semi consistent.
Yeah. They've been
500.
hovering barely a couple games above 500 just about for the last month and change.
The Mets have the most capable roster at this point in time.
Yes.
I don't see the Mets selling at the trade deadline. I see them grabbing pieces like a magpie
Aha.
because because at this point in time, if you look at the other teams in the NL East,
Mm-hmm.
in terms of on paper talent, they are better. The Mets are just slightly disjointed.
Let me ask you this because you're telling me this. What planet I'm on. What planet are you on? Mets are 16 under. They're not going to rally in a week and suddenly get back to 500. It's not
Really,
going to happen. It's not
really
going to happen.
weren't the Yankees 16 under there? Now they're 9 over. Why can't the
The
Mets
Yankees
do
weren't
it?
16 under. The Yankees were above 500 pretty much the whole year, but they
I
went
thought you
16
said
over. They were 16 over and now have dropped to 9 because of a terrible stretch of baseball they played for the
I
last
thought you
week.
said earlier in the show there were 16 games under
Over.
500 and they
No, 16
oh,
over. They were 16 over. That
okay.
was their high water
No,
mark.
here's the thing. This Met team has a crap ton of talent on it
Yeah. And it's not being utilized to their full potential. It's not being utilized
because
well.
of the fact that there are certain players that just don't fit in the spots that they're in.
Yeah. And whose fault was that?
The general manager.
Thank you.
Now, there's a way to fix this issue. Through trades.
Okay.
There are teams that could use a piece like Polanco,
Hmm. Okay.
where we could get a starter and a player back, like a San Diego.
Hmm. Okay.
Uh, what starters do you think they have available for a team like the Mets that are starter starving?
Hmm.
Dylan Cease, for example.
Dylan Cease with Toronto. I don't,
Now,
maybe
oh yeah,
Toronto could move him, but I don't see it.
you,
Maybe you get
you know,
Michael King. Maybe you get back Michael King. He was a
I
Yankee
would,
once.
I
Michael
would
King might be a
love
good fit.
that. Would be amazing.
Maybe you get Walker Bueller.
No, Michael King. He's young. He's still sort of young.
Yeah,
Like
King is like
he's
27, 28.
that's still young. That's
Yeah.
still
I
young in
mean,
pitcher land. Like
He's
you could
31.
get
Or he's
away.
31. Okay,
Okay,
31.
that's older. But do you know what?
Still not the worst.
Not the worst, but okay. Well, what other arms does San Diego have? I would like to get a
Yeah.
younger starter that is a little. Although I love the idea of Michael King, I would take him.
Yeah. Well, I mentioned Bueller, but he's been hurt, so it's not somebody you're
I
very
would
crazy
never
about.
take, and I was not. I'm not crazy about him in the
Maybe you
playoffs
get
anyway.
back the guy you dealt in Griffin Canning. Maybe you bring Griffin Canning back here. He was doing
That
some good
the
things before he got hurt.
and then what's he been doing for Sandog?
Um, let's just say he's been pretty awful. One and
Yeah,
six with
I
a
would.
6.71 ERA.
Well, he was when he was working with Hepner, he was doing well.
Yeah, but now that pitching lab's not here anymore. So I just
No,
don't know.
so I would, and so who else does he
Maybe
have?
maybe you get J.P. Sears, another former Yankee product at one point, 30 years old, left-hander. Mets could use some lefty help in that rotation, if you ask me.
So Michael
Michael
King
King's a
also
right-hander. He's a righty.
okay. So JP Sears, what's his season looking like?
2-1 with a 4.70. He recently came. He just recently kind of came up. He's been had some injuries. He's 2-1 with a 4.70 ERA. So he's kind of getting back into the flow of things. I
You
mean,
know
he
what?
did. He
That
was
might
pretty decent. He was pretty decent when you give him the full season healthy. He
no.
could do
Now that
stuff.
but now that I'm thinking about it, you know what? That sounds like an idea.
Mm. But
JP
yeah,
Sears.
yeah, Sears, King, those are probably the better options, at least from the Padres. I could see the Mets doing, and maybe the Padres will be willing to sell off. But I'm just still a little
No,
up in the
because
air.
no, but do you know why? Because I need an arm that could stabilize this thing.
Hmm.
Because I don't know how long Clay Holmes is going to be out.
Uh, well, yeah, and that's another. Well, that was another killer for the Mets was losing Clay. That also derailed a lot of their season. It took a lot of the wind out of the Mets' sails. Good
Yeah, because
news
I don't.
for Clay Holmes. I do have some news on Clay. It's small. He could begin a rehab stint after the All Star break.
Oh, so it isn't catastrophic season
Doesn't
ending
sound like
crap.
it is. Yeah, and I could say the same thing with the Dodgers. Edwin Diaz could be back by after the break as well for the Dodgers. So,
What about Blake Snell? How's he looking?
hmm. Well, as you know, Holmes had the fibula injury, and that was a killer injury for him to suffer. He's been out since May 15th.
Yep, that was killer for
No.
the Mets, and that's
Oh,
when everything started to turn
absolutely. Oh,
awful.
absolutely. Absolutely, without a doubt.
But Clay Holmes coming back is like an ace coming back into the rotation. So
Yeah, so maybe you only
if
need one more arm at least to
you
join
get a Michael, you get a Sears.
a Sears or a King, either of them two, and you have
Actually,
Christian
the
Scott
Sears
and
to
you
me
have
makes
McLean.
sense.
Yeah, Sears is a lefty.
Bang,
You need lefty help. So there you go. I
bang,
could see that. Again, I could see that happening, but
and
I don't
then
know. Yeah.
and then there's the way the Mets go on their little run to get back in this thing.
Well, the Yankees will need something of that at the trade deadline too. They're going to have to get some upgrades where they need them also. That helped them a year ago when they beefed up the pen. Bednar was
Because
great for them, and Bednar has been back.
here's the thing, you could trade Polanco,
Yep.
bullpen arm, and Sears.
Will that equate to Mason Miller? I just don't know. Maybe you get Yuki Matsui. Maybe you get Bradley Rodriguez. Maybe
I
you
would
get
get
Marinaccio, perhaps.
anything different would help. Anything.
Yeah.
I would take a drunk from a local bar.
Mm. Well,
It's
will
not
the,
it's that bad.
I know. Well, and again, do the Mets have any other top prospects that are kind of waiting in the farm system that are coming up soon? I just don't know. I mean, we've seen a couple.
Um,
Look, we saw Ewing. He looked good. We saw Benj. He looked good. Okay.
you know what? But that's the one thing I give Stearns credit on. He's been, you know what, farm systems just popping up players.
Yep.
If he's able to do that, let's see it
Yep.
because we need him.
Yep. Well, we'll see what happens. Obviously, we'll see what the Yankees end up doing. Obviously,
Well, the
to make
Yankees question.
yeah, both of their top prospects are injured. By the way, just before you get into anything, Lombard's hurt,
Um,
and now Legrane got hurt.
Great. What about Mr. Dominguez?
Well, Jason Dominguez, he's been back. We've been playing him, but he's only hitting about 200. He's been in and out of the lineup. Injuries have gotten in their way with him. He's still young though. His outfield is still a concern. Today, I mean, Grisham had to get in front of him to catch a fly ball today that could have maybe been a collision. Who knows? And then, he almost
Trade?
he almost hurt Jazz. Yeah, Dominguez might be a piece we have to trade. As much as I hate it, we may have to trade him because he's just not been. He just hasn't
Yeah, because he just doesn't fit the
blossomed
environment of
into
a
the
win.
role we
Maybe,
had for
yeah,
him.
maybe that's somebody you give to a sand dog because they could use
Yeah,
outfield help.
if that could be a piece we get for a rise, I'll do it in a heartbeat. Maybe we can get a Cronenworth in return as well. Maybe get a little help in the infield. That could be another idea. The Padres are
Arise.
going to be selling off. The Padres are going to be doing the same thing. They're going to be selling people off because right now, if you look at the National League West, the Dodgers are running away with the West. Nobody's even close right now to catching them. Everybody's under 500 in the West right now, just so
Right.
you know.
Yep.
The Padres have played that awful. The Padres have played that awful. They had an 8 game losing
The
streak where they were
central is
400 and they dropped.
the central is just bonkers.
Well, the Brewers are right now. The Brewers are at the top of the heap in the Central, but yeah, the Cardinals and Cubs are basically fighting each other for second place. But you know what? The Brewers, they develop players right. They have good fundamentals. They have a good system to develop their infielders and to develop winning baseball players. That's just how it is.
And you know what? We're starting to see that with guys like Benj popping up. That's
Yeah.
why uh that's why ownership does not want to fire Mr. Stearns because he believes in the vision for the farm system. So, if
Hmm.
that's the case, maybe it's time to pop some of these cocoons open and let these
Let the kids
butterflies
play.
fly.
Let these kids play is what that was the old term they said a few years
I
ago.
can't believe I'm saying this.
But,
I was never supposed to say this again,
but,
but here we are.
yep,
I'm a Mets fan saying let the kids play. Why do we keep going back to this? The Yankees, what they need to do immediately,
yep,
get another starter on this roster.
yeah. Well,
A
Fried is
back
making his
end.
way back. Well, Max Fried is making his way back slowly but surely. So it's getting close, but we're still a little bit of a ways away with Fried. Clark Schmidt, he won't be back probably till at least September, which would have been another nice addition we could have used.
Well, then maybe you poach Michael King. Well,
Well,
here's the
he
thing.
was good with the Yankees at one point. He was a Yankee and did good things with us. Would
Or
love having
maybe
King
you
back.
or maybe since you guys actually have decent pitching coach,
Yeah.
maybe you guys go grab a Griffin Canning who knows how to pitch in New York.
Mm, okay, but the Yankees don't have the benefit of Hefner in the pitching lab like your Mets did.
No, you guys have the benefit of actual decent pitching coaching.
Yeah, we got Matt
Remember?
Blake. Well, we got Matt Blake. I know. Yeah, look, I don't
Who's
question
done a
Blake
who's done a damn good job with every kid who he's come across.
for the most part. Yes, he has. For the most
So
part, he has.
if Hefner and his kooky pitching lab taught Griffin Canning what to do, I'm sure Matt Blake could take Griffin Canning and make him
Yeah,
good.
we did somewhat do that for Clay before he went to the Mets, but the Mets really further unlocked Clay as a true starter, something the Yankees
Yeah.
couldn't do with him. So I'll give the Mets
Well,
that where it goes.
so here's what I'm saying. Since the Mets pretty much gave Griffin Canning a blueprint, maybe the Yankees can unlock it.
We'll see. But I'll tell you this much: just like the Mets have a
Or
very tough schedule for the second half of the year, the Yankees don't have as easy a schedule either.
or I have a question.
Yeah.
Maybe the Yankees could go you think the Yankees could go ask Mr. Severino what he's doing over in
Uh,
Vegas?
It's an idea. I mean, but honestly, I don't know what Severino are we getting anymore. You know, right now Severino's been a little banged up. He's been hurt. 32 years old. I don't know. I just don't know. He's 2-6 this year. 4.17 ERA is not terrible, but
If I were the Mets, I'd grab him.
yeah, well, you never should have let him go in the first place. You
Well,
never
no,
should have
he
let
was
him
too
walk
much.
away.
Well, no, he was he
He took the
for
money. I know. He took
Quintana.
more. He took more money. He wanted to take money. I
No,
get that.
no, but do you know what though? In For Quintana in his place, I was fine.
Yeah.
How is Jose Quintana doing?
Let's
Let's
take a
check
look
on
at him.
him.
Let's see. Right now, he's with the Rockies. 37 years old. The Rockies are. He hasn't, but yeah, he has an ERA over five. 2-3 with a 5.27 ERA. Well, it's Colorado. What do you expect?
Well, what's his home road splits?
Uh, well, if I really have to run those numbers for you, I mean, let's see. Okay,
Just for fun.
1-1. All right, at home, 1-1 with an ERA just over four. On the road,
Okay.
1-2 with an ERA over six. It's not
Wow. So
great.
he's actually pitching. So he's actually pitching better in the altitude.
Yeah. But again, he's been a little banged up. He hasn't been, the Rockies have just, he hasn't been able to really stay healthy this year, which is kind of odd for me
And
because I know he was very durable.
he can never pitch with, and also he can never pitch with a lead, so he always feels like he has to be Superman.
Yeah, right now he's on the IL as of he was transferred to the 60-day IL back in May. He had an elbow sprain,
Oh
but
no.
but as of 2 days ago, he was scheduled to play catch Monday, so he's
Oh
working his
wow.
way back. Again,
Damn.
it was a sprain that did not require surgery. He had a PRP injection in his UCL in June,
Good
so
job.
he's out until at least late this month.
Well, good job for coming back, bro. All
Well,
right.
the good thing is, look, Quintana is not a 99 mile an hour guy. He throws about 90 miles an hour. He's like a control pitcher. So,
That's not a soft tosser. Listen, a soft tosser is like he's throwing like 84, 85. 90, 91, 92 miles an hour.
that's
He's still
about,
a hard
that's still,
throwing
that's about,
fastball.
for me, that qualifies as a pretty soft tossing pitcher to throw about 90, 89, 90 miles an hour. That's a control pitcher. That's not a power pitcher.
No, he's not a super power pitcher. He's not like,
No,
I'm just
no,
dominating you with
absolutely
my
not. Oh,
fastball.
absolutely
But
not.
that's
No,
still a
absolutely not.
hard ass fastball. Like
All right.
92, 93 miles an hour is a hard ass fastball
Okay,
for
well,
a
all right. Well,
starting
R.A.
pitcher.
Dickey didn't throw a hard fastball. He barely threw 84 miles an hour, and was a knuckleballer.
That's a soft tosser.
But he had the hardest
That's what I say
knuckleball.
is
But he had the hardest knuckleball of any knuckleballer that ever played baseball that I've seen.
that is true because R.A. Dickey used to throw a 95-mile-an-hour
Yeah,
fastball.
and he had better control of that knuckleball than most knuckleball pitchers ever did.
Yeah, he actually had control of the knuckleball. That was the difference.
Exactly. That's the point I'm trying to make there.
Tim Wakefield used to went
His
one
his
time used
knuckleball was all over the
commented.
place. His knuckleball was all over the place.
Yeah, Tim Wakefield used to comment sometimes on R.A. Dickey games that he said that is the best pitch I've ever seen.
There you go. So
R.A. Dickey might not have been the best pitcher in baseball history, but he said that is the best pitch I've ever seen.
yeah. So, anyways, but back to the matter at hand. As I said, the Mets schedule and what they're going to have, the Yankees schedule is not going to be any easier. So the Yankees have to play the Dodgers coming out of the All-Star break, and likely Edwin Diaz could be back by that point. Then you got to play Pittsburgh.
You know what though? It's a good thing if he comes back by that point because then you could just blow him up when he comes off of injury. That's a good
Well,
thing. You might
yeah.
see Edwin Diaz right away.
The Yankees have not recovered from that World Series to the Dodgers. It's very cool. We're 2 years removed from that World Series almost, and it's clear
You
that's
need
they have to get over that burden. They have to extinguish those ghosts from the past.
Cody Bellinger is the only player that seems to know what to do against that team.
Yeah. Well, right now Cody has been hitting 4 of his last 30 lately. He's not been hitting a lick. Goldie's been hitting 0 for 30. Jazz has not been hitting. The whole Yankee lineup at this current moment, with the way they've been playing have been in a slump. When you have had Aaron Judge even having to call out the team and say something, and he sees something wrong with the team, that's not something you usually ever heard from Judge, but he was calling it
You know,
out.
ever since Glaber Torres has left this team, everything's fell apart.
Maybe more than you realize. Look, Glaber was a great leadoff hitter in that lineup before he left. Glaber was doing good things leading off. You always were enamored by his ability of how he
Maybe
basically
it's not a
adjusts at the
contact.
plate as a hitter. You always made that
Maybe
point.
it's not a contact hitter that you need. Maybe it's an engine hitter.
Yeah,
Like Juan Soto was an engine player.
yeah.
Like he was a guy that revved everybody up. So that's what the Mets acquired in him,
Yeah.
like another
He
engine
was
rever.
supposed to make the whole lineup better. That's what Soto was supposed to do.
And
Make the whole
he
lineup
does.
better.
And he does. And a lot of people don't realize it because he's not loud about it. He's his presence silently makes everybody else better, even if he's not hitting well.
Hmm.
Because everybody else has to see better pitches when he's
Yeah.
there. So
All right.
he's an engine rever. He's an engine, and then when he actually hits the ball, he's an engine rever. He's an engine starter. He
Yeah.
gets things
Yeah.
rolling. He gets things moving. What the Yankees need to do
Yeah.
is now, I figured it out. They got to acquire a contact hitter who could rev the engine of this lineup up.
That's where Luis Ariz comes in. That's why I brought up
Now,
Luis Ariz. That's what he does. He was
okay,
a
are
leadoff
you
hitter and he puts the ball in play.
okay? Is he the type of personality though that will rev the engine of this team?
I'd like to say that he would. He definitely when he was first on the Twins, he was basically exactly that type of hitter and that type of guy with personality. Yeah, infectious
What
joy,
position does he?
outgoing leadership, and relentless work ethic.
Excellent,
That's how Rise is regarded by teammates, fans, and coaches.
excellent. So
Zero
now
toxicity or
that
drama. That's who he is.
wonderful. This is perfect.
That's who we
So
need in the lineup. That'd be perfect for the
excellent. What
Yanks.
position does he occupy?
As I recall correctly, he played third base, if I'm correct.
Oh,
Infield. Yeah.
beautiful.
Second, third. He can play all three positions. He's an infielder. He can play
So
all
can
three
we just get
positions.
rid of? So could we get rid of Jazz for him
I'd love to.
in a straight up?
Love to.
Because I would that actually be equal value though? Seriously, I'm
Right now,
actually asking you,
Arise.
Johnny.
Right now, Arise. Despite only having 4 home runs, he's hitting 325 with 110 hits. That doesn't tell you a guy that can put a ball in play, despite only having 33 ribbies and 4 home runs, but he puts the ball in play.
Okay, now, Jazz's home run and RBI numbers are what?
His well, Jazz is always adamant about my numbers. He feel like he could hit better than what he's doing. Yeah, Jazz is hitting 224 with 12 home runs and the same amount of RBIs as Arise, 33, and less hits at 68. So Arise has the same
Half
RBI total, but
and
30,
half
but
the
about
hit.
30 more hits than Jazz, and hit about 100 points better on his average than Jazz.
Wow.
Night and day. It's night and day if you with Arise. Night and day.
This someone needs to just show Jazz that and be like, your production, your home runs mean nothing. But do you know
Exactly.
what? They someone needs to show the Yankee lineup.
Yeah.
You see these home runs he's hitting, they mean
Yeah.
nothing.
And more
Look at the
importantly, Arise is a
RBI total.
lefty. Arise is a left-handed bat, which will be perfect in the Yankees lineup.
Get him in here.
Like now. Now.
Yep, there you go.
This can't wait anymore. He's playing on a
Not
bad, by the
right
way,
now.
Arise is playing on the Giants, so on a bad Giants team that they're also going to sell players off. That's somebody I
Oh,
jump on right then and there.
so give them, you know what? Give them Jazz and well, no, your prospects are terrible though.
I mean, we have some that are all right. Do we want to trade
Give them
maybe
Jazz and
Spencer?
Dominguez,
Yeah, because I don't think we're going to trade Spencer Jones. I just don't see it.
which I think is stupid, but whatever. You should trade him. I think Dominguez is the better player, but
Honestly, I think Jazz would do better in California, if you ask me. I don't know.
I
He's
think that
wearing out his welcome's being a little worn out here in New York.
yeah, I think you give Jazz and Jazz and Dominguez,
His
and
laid
get.
back personality is perfect for California.
Yep, there
I
you
think
go.
so. That's at least my opinion. Now, will the Giants actually do that? Who knows? The
Look,
Giants have
Dominguez.
the Giants have a ton of cancers on that team. Rafael Devers too. Maybe
I
the Mets
know.
get Devers. Maybe the Mets get Rafi Devers on top of that. Who knows, right?
You know what? I would do that. Cover the Mets. I would freaking do that.
And he's a third and first baseman. You know, he's only hitting about 246 though for the year, but 18 homers, 47 ribbies, and 85 hits.
I could use that.
And he's a lefty bat.
I could use that. Well, so could you, actually.
We both could.
No, you could use that
I feel like
right
the
now.
Yankees. I think the Yankees at one point wanted to get Devers, but when you saw how he kind of handled situations, like not being happy of getting taken out of a lineup and not being happy of, oh, I have to change my position suddenly, and I feel like a team did me
You know,
dirty. Attitude problem.
Blanco for Devers sounds like a nice deal.
Yeah, maybe the Mets will do that. Who knows?
I
Maybe
would
the Mets
love
do
that.
it. Maybe the Mets will do it. Who
That
knows?
would be that would be lovely, wouldn't it? That would only happen in the land of my dreams, but
Well, wouldn't it? I get
if
it.
David Stearns makes my dreams a reality, I would cry. I would
Well,
cry. I'd be like, I will never
yeah.
ever call for your firing
All right.
again. No.
So now let me go back to the rest of the Yankees schedule because I haven't been able to go into the meat of it. So yeah, Dodgers,
Yes.
Pirates, Phillies, White Sox, Cubs, Cardinals, Braves, Mariners, Jays, Orioles, Jays, Astros, Red Sox. Then you have the Angels, Padres, Rockies, so kind of weaker teams thrown in there. Then you have the Mets, Twins, Diamondbacks, uh, Rays, Orioles.
Mm.
That's the rest of the Yankees schedule. That's the second half
Your
of the Yankees that they're
the
going to have to
end
deal
of
with.
your year is simple. You should be able to like stomp through the end
Yeah.
of your year and make the playoff.
But the meat of it's going to be tough. Having to play the Jays, of which the Yankees have been very up and down with the Jays. The Rays are always a
You
nightmare for
have
the
to
Yanks.
play 500 ball until the end of the year.
We need to play
That's
maybe a
what you
little
have to
over
do.
500 if we want to have a shot at taking the East. We need to have at least 10 over 500 in the second half of
Uh,
the year at least.
the last like what 8 series you play
Yeah, so that's the
are all
Orioles, the
against teams.
Rays, the Diamondbacks, Twins, Mets, Rockies, Padres, Angels. Yeah. Those last
You
chunk of
should be
series are
able to
winnable series.
annihilate every team.
Those are winnable series. Winnable
And series that
on
you must
paper.
win because you should be able to. You should have to. You gotta sweep the Rays.
Well, we should have swept. We should have swept Minnesota, and we didn't. We should have at least
No,
split with Boston in Fenway. We didn't. We should
nope.
have obliterated the Tigers when we beat them 2 out of 3. We should have beaten them at Yankee Stadium. And
Yep.
Schlittler
Just
was
didn't.
trash and
Hey,
didn't.
it's not. Listen, it's not his fault. The
It's
kid.
not. I know he had a bad start. I get that, but just the overall the problems that happened over those last two series was we were giving up first inning runs. That was
Yep.
killing the Yanks. We were giving up 3, 4 runs in the first inning before we even took an at bat. So we're already playing behind
Listen,
the 8 ball to begin with.
but that's momentum. That's momentum crap on a first pitch, and the kid's trying to get settled into the game. What are you gonna
Okay,
do?
not just Schlittler. I'm talking about some of the other Yankees that were also pitching in the
Who
other
are
games of that
also
series.
kids? You have
Weathers ain't a kid. Weathers is 28 years old. He ain't a young kid anymore.
okay, but how many years has Weathers been up here?
Okay, Weathers has been with the Yankees, he's only been here 1 year, but Weathers has been up here for at least a few years now. Weathers has been here a couple of years. So he's got some time. He's only 26 years old. I get that, but he's been here since 2020. He's got 6 years under his belt. All right, he's been up here
Okay.
for 6 years.
Yeah. So what? All right. Weathers has been around a while. So all right, we're gonna we're still gonna give him the fact that this is New York City,
Yeah,
and he's coming here as like trying to reclaim his career.
he's been serviceable in the rotation. He's been serviceable. Obviously, the plan was, unfortunately, before Rodon got hurt, And if we had gotten Fried back, Weathers would have gone to the bullpen and could have been maybe a couple, like a 2, 3 inning arm in the pen as a long reliever. That was going to be our plan. But now, because of the injury to Rodon, that's no longer possible. Unless we get
Yep.
another arm, that's not going to happen. If the Yankees can get another arm in here, maybe we can still execute that plan. And
Yep. But
I don't know
until
what Max
then,
Fried we're getting when he comes back. I don't know how Max Fried is going to be when he returns. We need Fried back to what he was when we first signed him last year. I want that Max Fried. I want the Max Fried that can get 7 strikeouts, can give me 7 innings an outing,
that's
gives you that
what he's
feeling of
gonna
an ace pitcher.
that's what he's gonna try to do
That's what we
because he's
need.
Max Fried, and
I
that's what you
know.
signed him to be.
I get that. And that's what we need. That's the Max Fried we need when he comes back.
And that's what I'm talking about the Mets. Honestly, if the Mets, because Clay Holmes is trying to be that,
Yes.
and he's succeeding.
He's showed you it. He has shown it every
I
outing he's been a
mean,
Met. He's shown you the ability to be a starter.
there are certain people that I give a lot of credit to who called this. And Keith McPherson from FAN was one of them. Well, I don't think he's from FAN anymore.
No, but he was. He's still. Yeah.
He's becoming like a small media conglomerate at this point. He's doing multiple different things. He's on TV. He's doing his own thing. We gotta get that guy on here too. We gotta get all these people on. And you work very hard to get people on. I'm getting people on via luck and friendship.
Yeah.
Beast, you're doing like all this networking and stuff. I'm just like watching podcasts and going,
Yeah.
friend, come on the
Well, now he's
show.
on.
And
Well, now
then,
Keith McPherson is now on the awful announcing podcast. So obviously he left the fan after about 4 years, stepped
but
away.
no, he still, no, he actually still does shows
Yeah,
on
he's still
10.
like but not on a he's not there like on a full time basis like he once was. He's not doing that
Nah,
anymore.
he's doing, no, but he is there like, I think like every week, at least once or twice a
Yeah.
week.
Okay, that's
So,
fine. That's fine. But yeah, no, if we get Keith McPherson here, great. I mean, look, he was one of John Boy's boys.
yeah, like, no, but like, I've listened to him, like, he originally got his start because he won the opportunity to be in the MLB fan cave.
Mm.
Remember that fan cave contest? He won it.
That was a long while back, but yeah, I
Yeah,
vaguely
that's
do.
how he got his start.
Hmm.
Like, when I was trying to get in via the Fantasy Phenom contest, and I only was the finalist and I didn't win, but I got my one
He was one
go.
of 8 finalists for that fan cave thing with Jeter's final season. Is that the one we're talking about?
Yup.
Okay, he was a finalist, but he did not win. This guy Chris Elmore ended up winning that competition.
No, but like that was a much
But it
more,
did launch. But yeah, it did launch his media career though. That is correct.
yeah.
So that fan
Like
cave helped him a lot in a big way.
that was a much bigger competition than the WFAN Phenom
Yeah,
contest.
it's a shame they don't
But
bring that. It's a shame they don't bring that back. It's kind of a shame.
nobody want me now.
I mean, also,
Nobody want to see me now. Nobody want to see me now.
maybe Mike Francesa decides to just one day come back and bring it back. Who knows?
I would love to interview him. I just don't think he'd ever want to talk to me again. He probably thinks I'm a weirdo.
Come on, he loved you. You ate his fries. You ate his French fries. That
That
took
was
balls to
probably
eat his.
the worst thing
That took
I
balls to eat his
ever
fries.
did.
That took balls to eat his French fries.
It did, but
Okay, and he liked it, right? He smiled at you,
uh
right? He said,
no,
"I
yeah,
like this
no,
guy."
that was a terrible idea.
Ah, I
I
don't
should
think it
have
was
never did
terrible.
that. Should
Nobody
have
else
never
did
did
it but
that.
you. Everybody else sat down in nerves, and you went up there and cool
Yeah,
as a
but
cucumber and did it.
yeah, but no, once I got on the stage, I was nervous as hell. That was the
That's
big
fine.
problem.
Perfectly appropriate. Nothing wrong
No,
with that.
why
Nerves are
is it
normal.
that behind the scene I was not nervous, but on the stage I was nervous as fuck?
It's normal. You're always got to be, nerves are a good thing. It's good to be nervous. It's good to be nervous, but it's good to have confident nerves.
Yup.
If I'm making any,
Confident
if I'm
nerves.
making any sense with that, if I'm making any
Yup.
sense.
Yo, this is
Anyway,
gonna be so great. Like when you cut that entire conversation for like the Discord or the blooper reel when we finally have like the tier that makes money,
that would be
just send
cute.
that as like the first little reel. All you do is just make like use the cut tool, right? And
Hmm.
just cut from the beginning and to the end of that and to the end of what I'm saying now, and then bang, this will be like the first real blooper reel
Hmm.
that we keep for just ourselves.
Very well. All right. So we've discussed the Yankees and the Mets and what they need to do as we get into the break, and we'll have later in the week an MLB top 10 will be our first one. We've had this as we get to the All-Star break. That's the Yankees and Mets are
Yep.
down to one more series before we hit the break. You know,
We went through NBA. We went through the Knicks. We didn't even get to go through all of the insanity from the rest of the league
we're going to get to
because the
all those
league
fun
has
goodies. We're going to get to all those
exploded.
goodies.
The league has exploded in response to the New York Knicks.
Well, that's a
Middleton
good thing,
has
right? The Knicks broke the NBA. Is that not a good thing?
the
Huh?
Washington Wizards have now are attempting to assemble a super squad
Yeah, keyword is
with
attempting. Keyword is
yeah,
attempting.
because now they have Middleton, Trey Young,
DeBonza
AD,
and DeBonza.
DeBonza, and who else?
Mm.
Wait a minute. There
All
was one other. There was one other part of that group.
right, I'll go to those in just a moment. But all right, look, the Wizards, have they made additions? Oh, yeah, and they got DeAndre Ayton from the Lakers. That was another
Yup.
one. Okay.
Yeah. No, that's a freaking no. That's a team. That's a team.
And Patrick Ewing has joined their coaching staff on top of that as well.
And Ewing's gonna train DeAndre Ayton and Anthony
Well, as an
Davis.
assistant
How
coach,
not?
but yeah, that's
But
fine.
yeah, but he's training those two monsters.
Okay, well, look, let's see if that works. I'm not saying Ayton can't get better, but the one thing with Ayton, there were times where he takes plays off. He doesn't always play with 100% effort all the time. Is Ewing
Yeah,
going to
and
get that 100% out of him? Is Ewing going to get that
because
out of him
because if he doesn't, he's gonna suplex him and he's gonna send him to his home to he's gonna fly him to his home country and
in
teach
Jamaica?
him what yep.
Okay, and you have Ayton who's from the Bahamas.
Yeah, he's gonna fly him to Jamaica and he's gonna fly him to the Bahamas and he's gonna remind him where he comes from and say, "How dare you take a play off? These people don't get to take a second off of their lives, and you have the opportunity to be here."
But I'll tell you what, VJ Edgecombe, who's also a Bahama native, he's outperformed Ayton in 1 year. There you go. And it's just his rookie year. Edgecombe already went further than Ayton did.
And by the way, last piece of NBA rumor I want to bring up.
Mm-hmm.
The Philadelphia 76ers are considering cutting Joel Embiid.
I'll be stunned if they actually really do that. I just can't. I just can't see that. I'm reading it right here. Yeah, 2 days ago predicted to cut ties. I don't. I
If
think
they
something
do
has to
it,
be that would be
if
nuts.
they do it, could the Knicks,
The Knicks are
since
not going to get
Embiid
Joel
is
Embiid. Are
still
you
owed,
crazy? He's
if he
injury
because
prone
he's
just as much
still
as
owed
Mitch.
money, he's still owed money. Imagine getting him on a 1 year veteran minimum to fill out the bet. Imagine
Oh,
that would just be, even injury prone. I don't care. Imagine him and Cat on the floor together at all,
mm,
ever.
mm.
And he doesn't have to be the number one.
I know because that's Jalen Brunson's team. So Embiid will have to take a
And,
number two seat.
No, but here's the thing. He would be the number three because I'm sorry, Cat's better.
Well, Cat moves the ball good. I'm not saying that's not a problem.
And then all Cat would have to do is be the distributor. All he would have to do is bat the ball of yarn to his friends. All Super Kitty would have to do is just bat the ball of yarn,
Hmm. Wouldn't
and
that be
then
great?
go and grab the ball of yarn, and then bat it to
Look,
another one of his friends. It's great.
if we get Embiid even playing at 70% of what he's capable of, I'd be fine with that.
If the
But
76ers cut him because no one wants to take him in a deal because they probably tried to offer him to Boston and Boston said no.
yeah, they
And
got
that's
Paul
why Paul
George.
George
But can you imagine
could
you get rid of
you
Embiid when you have Jaylen Brown? You really want to do that?
because Brown and Maxey are perfect together. That's why.
Okay, and not having Embiid as a three-headed monster would be a problem. Those three will cause mayhem throughout the entire Eastern Conference if you keep all three of them.
How are you paying for it? Exactly.
Maybe the Sixers will have to say to Embiid, because Brunson did it, take a pay cut.
Why would Embiid take a pay cut for an organization that's literally stabbed him in the back 100 times?
I don't know. Maybe if he really loves Philly that much and he doesn't want to leave, because Brunson clearly had no problem taking that cut to improve the team around him. Brunson had no
Exactly.
problem taking a pay
Because he
cut.
loved because he loved the Knicks and loved the organization.
And you don't think
I
Embiid
don't
doesn't love the organization? You don't think he doesn't
I
love
don't
Philly?
I have a question. When
Yeah.
you see 8 million articles about the team is looking to trade you, the team is looking to get rid of you, year after year after year after year, all you hear is the team wants to cut ties with you, the fan base hates you, and now the team is looking to just cut ties with you.
Embiid has
What are
said
you
he loves
supposed to?
playing. Embiid has said I love playing in Philly, and he wants to spend his entire career there. He said it himself. Embiid wants to be in Philly. He doesn't want to leave.
Well, guess what? He's gone because they're gonna get rid of him.
Yeah.
I don't know what he thinks he's gonna do.
Yeah. Now he has voiced frustrations, how the team has not won a title, exiting out of the playoffs early. He has said those things. Okay.
Yeah. Well, um, get better. And that's what they're trying to do. But here's the thing: when you center the entire team around a guy that can only play like 28 games a year and then can't be available in the postseason, you have to make hard decisions.
I get it. Look, the Knicks had to make their hard decision with Mitch.
Okay,
They
yeah,
had.
and that wasn't a hard decision. You're not spending
Well,
$17 million over four
well,
years on a player
well. From a fan's
that's gonna.
perspective, that was a hard one. Seeing Mitch
That wasn't a
go.
hard decision at all. Thank you, Mitch, for helping us win the title. I'm glad we got to win one with you on the roster. You deserved it.
Yeah.
Good luck in Boston.
Well, that was
Like,
about the only
honestly,
turnoff was
what
he
the
wished
hell
Boston was the
else?
only place he didn't go to. He could have gone anywhere but Boston, is probably what a lot of fans would have preferred, but it
I
is what
mean,
it
yeah,
is.
but do you know what? What the hell else was he gonna do? And he was dumb enough to punch his hand. Could you imagine if he would have really injured his hand to the point where he couldn't have played in the
Yeah.
finals?
He had, he mentioned his reasons for what happened with his hand and what led up to it. And, he
You
had
know
a
what?
family, it was a family member. He felt terrible that he couldn't be there for them. He got worried. People have a right to worry about family members and show a little emotion. It's normal. Imagine your
Yell,
brother is not well or something happened to him and
yell.
okay, scream about it. Okay.
Yelling doesn't hurt your physical body that you are paid
You
millions
can get
of
laryngitis.
dollars
You
to
can get you
maintain.
can get laryngitis.
Okay, that doesn't prevent you from playing basketball.
Well, sorry, sadly to
You are
say,
paid to maintain your physical body millions of dollars. I'm sorry. Like if I was paid millions of dollars to maintain my physical body, I would be mouth of the South with six pack abs and muscles and all of that.
yeah,
Because I
he
would be getting paid millions of dollars to do nothing but that.
well,
You know?
well, Mitch explained everything. He outlined it very clearly. what happened. Said, yeah, personal issues, relationship problems, internal
I get
struggles
it.
affected my performance on the court. It's normal. I mean, people go through things in life. There were
Yeah,
times
but
where,
do you know
yeah,
what
Mitch was
though?
dealing with depression and stuff. He was dealing with a lot of problems. It's understandable.
It is, and it's terrible. But that's why the Knicks didn't even tender an offer. And you heard our owner James Dolan when he
Yes.
talked about Sparta.
Yeah, sacrifice and 10 weeks and
He
sacrifice
didn't
and
he didn't listen to his owner about 10 weeks. Nope.
okay. I could imagine, did every Nick listen, did every Nick just listen to
Well,
that 10
well,
weeks? Who knows?
but do you know what? I guess Mr. Robinson didn't listen about the 10 weeks hard enough because he ended up in personal trouble with personal struggles and it affected his performance on the court. He didn't listen to James,
Well,
Johnny.
Huck Porty didn't stay either. He went to Philly. Huck Porty
I
didn't
guess he
stay.
I guess he didn't listen either. I guess he didn't listen to James either. Guess he must have struggled with sacrifice.
Okay. Well, however you want to
No,
slice
but do you know
this,
what though? But do you know what the Knicks didn't even tender him an offer. That's the messed up part. Like
well,
you didn't even try to like give him like you didn't
second
even try to
apron,
give him
second apron, they only
five
had so
mil,
much money. They only
five
had,
mil for a year. You could have done that.
Mitch wasn't
The
going to take
contract
that
is
money. Mitch was not going to take
17.
that. Mitch was not going to take that
Okay,
money.
really? He took a $17 million 4 year contract. He didn't take 17 million a year. He took 4 years, $17 million.
Hmm.
Divide 4 years by four. Divide 17 by four. John, see
Mitch
what
took a
that comes
three.
out to.
Mitch signed 3 years, 47 with Boston.
I thought it was 4 years 17.
Oh no, no, no! 3 years at 47.5 million. He took big. He took some pretty big money. So
Oh,
he's gonna. It's a fully
that,
guaranteed contract, and he's going to be paid.
how
He's going to be paid
how's that?
15.8 a year. He's going to get paid 15
Okay,
million a
there's
year.
there's no way the Knicks were ever matching that.
No,
I'm sorry.
they weren't going to. Yeah, Mitch. Obviously, it's clear Mitch wanted representable money. He wanted a decent payout.
And he
Okay,
wanted to play.
okay. Are the
And he
Celtics going
wanted
to
to
play
play
him?
and he
Are the
wasn't.
Celtics going to
Yes.
actually do that and play him the right way? We'll
Yes,
see.
he's their starter. He's their starter.
Well, he's going to have to be now because the Celtics cut a few threads of their team, including dealing Jaylen Brown. And you're going to rely on a 30-plus-year-old Paul George to support Jason Tatum, along with Derek White and Peyton Pritchard.
Yep. And do you know what? Boston has drafted and developed players, and
Of course.
I'm sure someone we've never heard of with some weird name from Europe that they drafted
Mm,
is going to show
okay.
up, score
Look,
35 points a game,
they
and
have
be the
some
next
good
All
kids on
Star.
this team. They have some good kids. You locked up Keita. I like him. That kid, Shearman. Yeah, that's him. I like that kid Shearman who came off the bench for them, and he's a pretty decent shooter. Can maybe give him some good minutes. Okay, I like what they're doing there. They got some good young kids that I think they're going to develop the right way. Maybe Mitch can help mold that unit together. The key for
But
me
do you know
is can
what?
Mitch stay healthy? That's what I'm
Mitch
concerned
could
about.
Mitch could do more things offensively than he was being allowed to do.
Well, maybe Boston will unlock those features that he didn't have with the Knicks. I'd love to see the Celtics unlock that in him. If they
You
do it,
have to
great.
remember Mitch's early career as a Knick.
Yes.
Go back and watch. He was here longer than anyone.
Yeah,
Remember,
of course.
he had a little bit of a hook shot. He had a little bit of things that he
Yeah.
could do. Remember when
Yeah.
he was playing like 30 minutes
Yeah.
a game as
When he
the
first
actual starter?
when he first came up with the Knicks, and I'm reading his numbers here from when he first came as a Knick. All right, he averaged roughly. His minutes were not really quite 30. He maybe averaged like 25-ish, 26 minutes roughly a year up until the last couple. He was average. Second year at the Knicks, he averaged about 10 points a game. Other than that, numbers were basically roughly about 7, 8 points a game. So he was never really a 10 point or 12 point per game scorer. That was never Mitch.
He could double double. He was in his second year. He was basically a double double machine.
Just about 7 rebounds, 10 points a game almost. Pretty close. That's pretty close.
So
But then the numbers
if
kind
you
of tailed
look,
off after that.
yeah, because of he was always getting hurt.
Yeah. Definitely after 23, the numbers dipped to about 5 points a game. And the rebounding, though, didn't really change. The rebound numbers actually got better after year three. The rebounding numbers really took off. So that
Yeah,
didn't
because
change.
he stopped worrying about scoring points once he was next to Julius Randle and Carl Anthony Towns.
Right. He understood what his role was.
And his assists started going up.
Yeah, the assist total was about, yeah, the last couple of years, he averaged almost an assist per game. The last couple of years. When he first came up, he barely averaged half an assist. So he
Yeah,
did improve that a little bit. That did improve.
what he should do in Boston, what I think Boston is going to start to do is instead of just having him offensive rebound or just tip the ball or something like that,
Switch
they're
him.
going to have him grab they're going to have him grab rebound, dribble back and pass, or grab rebound, stick in the post, look around and pass it to the best open option,
Do you think he
or
can play off the
run
ball a little
offense.
bit? Do you think he can also play off the ball slightly? Do you think
It's not
that
about off the ball. It's find the best option off the ball instead of just immediately passing out. Teaching him to do what Carl Anthony Towns has been doing when he gets the ball in the post.
I trust Joe Mazzulla.
Sometimes
I trust what Joe Mazzulla is going to do. He develops players right.
letting
He gets them
yeah,
to play the right way.
basically letting Mitch be a .5.
Let's see how this pans out. I'll be very curious how Mitch in Boston pans out. I'm very
Because
curious
here's
to
the
see.
thing, if Mitch could get offensive rebounds, why not let him learn how to see what an offense does when it's running around?
Fair enough. Fair enough. Cavs locked up Donovan Mitchell. He's not going anywhere. 4 years, another 273 million. So
Bang.
Donovan Mitchell's staying where he is. Okay. So basically, there's definitely been a lot of changes in the NBA. We talked about some of them over the past few weeks, and we'll dive into more as we go. The
I
Pistons
still
dealt
think,
Karis LeVert, so that's a big
yep.
change. He's going to Milwaukee.
Uh, ooh,
You get
that's a good
Prince and
destination
you
for
get
him.
Gary Harrison, Torian Prince in return, so that's not too bad. You get some decent pieces in return
That's nice for
to,
them.
to balance out the team that you have. So
I still think the Pistons have fallen off. I think their chance at
well,
dominating
well,
the
dealing
East is
Karis LeVert
done.
was the last straw for me. Dealing Karis
Yeah,
LeVert was the last
they're
straw.
done. They're done.
Well, they definitely
They're done.
weakened their depth. Well, they definitely weakened their depth. There's no doubt about that.
No, they added to their depth, but I think what they did was they took star power away from their bench because Levert could legitimately take over a game and score 25
Yeah.
points, 30 points coming off the bench. Levert can be a player that could legitimately be a starter for 2 weeks,
Yeah.
score 30 points, and in the playoffs, that's something that could be necessary for you.
Well, that's why he's valuable
Now
wherever
you
he
just,
goes. He's valuable
yep.
wherever he goes.
And on a Milwaukee team that needs a starter, perfect.
All right. Yeah, because you're going to be playing with a whole different team this year, with no Giannis now to help you. You don't have Giannis anymore.
Yep. Levert could be the number one. That's
We'll
perfect.
see.
Let him
We'll
do it.
see. All right. And on that note, that's going to end this edition of Downtown Sports. I want to thank Chris DeLarge. I want to thank Tony Mainville. We will have a special FIFA World Cup / football edition episode tomorrow. Rob
So
Simmons,
it's
Professional
yeah,
Fanatics, will join us along with Matt
we're doing
O'Boyle.
two things
We are doing
tomorrow.
two things, too.
Yeah, we are doing two different episodes.
Oh, two of them. Even better. Even
Yeah,
better.
because here's the thing. Why would we combine those two subjects? That doesn't make any sense.
No.
We're gonna have FIFA World Cup. We could combine the football audience with the football. I mean, do we really want dueling,
No.
fighting audiences
Heck
who
no.
don't understand each other? I
Heck no.
mean,
My brain was on my brain was on maximum overdrive.
that would be so funny, though.
It'd be
Could
cool.
you imagine? Could you imagine football fans arguing with football fans?
Tell me about it. But yeah,
That'd be
well, yeah,
funny.
because football and soccer, yeah, everybody, people call football like, football, soccer,
I
and
gotta say though, shout outs to FIFA for doing this event sort of right because I think more people in this country are actually going to pay attention to MLS now,
Mhm.
or at least they had
Well,
freaking better.
a good, some of these players that you see that are playing in the World Cup, they do play in the MLS. Some of them do. Not all of them, but some of them do play MLS. And otherwise, the rest of them play overseas in Mexico, in Spain, in South America. They're playing for their respective programs in Europe and all that. So that keeps them fresh. That keeps their skills intact, and it makes
All
them
these
very sought
streaming
after.
services, all these streaming services that play like sports that charge like, $5.99 a month, that like play like the soccer and stuff, all of a sudden you're going to get a lot of
Well,
eyes on that. Matt
well,
O'Boyle coming on
yep.
for the second to last time covering the round of. Actually, no, we're going to have him at
Yeah, a
least a
couple
couple
more.
more
Yeah, we're gonna
times.
have him. Yeah, we're gonna have him for the remaining
Round
chunk.
of eight.
Recap the round
The
of 16, and we have the round of
Yep,
eight coming up.
the death of North America in this tournament.
Yeah, we're gonna dive into all those fun things. I don't want to give away
We
too
can't
much.
have we can't have Rob on that. We're
No,
covering the death of North America
we're gonna have
tomorrow
Matt O'Boyle to
for
discuss
that.
that with us. Fine, and then
But
we have,
but
and then
Matt
another
O'Boyle
episode
is
on
gonna
football.
have
Yeah,
yeah, but Matt O'Boyle is gonna be on with the football episode as well. We need to have Rob and Matt meet, so we're gonna do that as well. We're gonna be talking about Brandon Ayuk.
yeah. Well,
Um, what the hell? We have to have four distinguished, crazy people like us because we are crazy and we understand crazy behavior and we understand being out there and making out their statement. I have made plenty about their statements.
hmm.
Okay. People have wondered about me before, and I've been open about my mental health. So we're wondering, is Brandon Ayuk doing this for social media or is Brandon Ayuk in need of help? We're
Hmm.
going to find that out tomorrow when
We're gonna
we
find all that out.
record that
Yep.
episode. Oh my God, we have a lot of stuff
Yeah.
coming for you this week on
You can listen
Downtown
to
Sports.
you can listen to Downtown Sports on 24 different platforms. We're on Spotify,
Mm.
Spotify for Creators, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Castbox, Bullhorn, Podbay, Listen Notes, Podcast Addict, Verbal, Castro.fm, Stitcher, Amazon Music, Audible, Podvine, Podyssey, Odyssey, iHeartRadio, Podchaser, TuneIn, YouTube, and on TikTok. Episodes, rants, digital market battles, specials every week. We are Downtown Sports, and we are where sports come home.
We hope you enjoyed this sports smorgasbord. Um, we hope you're nice and full.
Hope you all
I
enjoyed
know
our
we are.
250th. Happy 250th America, coming off of Independence Day. Hope you all
That's
enjoyed
right.
your July 4th and ate plenty of burgers, hot dogs, and saw a lot of fireworks.
I'm feeling a lot better.
You
You can
sound
hear
a
it in my
lot
voice.
better. You sound so much
Yes,
better. You sound so much
I
better.
I am feeling a lot better, but I had to put out a rant for the 250th birthday of my beautiful country,
Please watch that.
America.
Please watch that. Please watch it. All right. Beast of the East, John Perriente, Mouth of the South, John Schiavone saying goodbye and good night.